Men hid behind an ordinary landscaping business and dug in silence for months beneath Fortaleza, Ceará, Brazil. They created a tunnel of approximately 80 meters beneath streets and buildings near the bank, and in August 2005, they breached the lower structure of the vault without firing a single shot, taking hostages or using explosives. By the time the country realized what had happened, roughly $70 million in cash had already disappeared. It was not a chaotic robbery. It was a slow, patient, and almost unbelievable infiltration carried out by men who turned dirt, concrete, and time into weapons. The group rented a property near the bank and used it as the base for a fake landscaping company, which helped justify the movement of people, the transport of materials, and a seemingly ordinary routine in a busy urban area. Instead of looking like men preparing a major heist, they appeared to be workers running a simple business. From that location, the excavation of the tunnel began. The operation required precise direction, control of the route, and the ability to sustain underground progress over a long period without drawing attention. The sheer volume of earth removed, tens of tons, already demanded constant logistics, as this material had to be disposed of quietly, without creating obvious external signs of a clandestine operation. The tunnel included structural reinforcement, lighting, and ventilation, showing that the plan was not just to dig, but to sustain a prolonged operation. This was not a group betting everything on a few hours of boldness, but one creating the technical conditions to work underground for weeks or even months. When the tunnel reached the vault area, the group's advantage was in avoiding the kind of barriers bank security is designed to stop. Front entrances, internal circulation, armed response, doors and vaults attacked head-on. Instead, they targeted the lower structure. What would normally be a reinforced vault door against rushed criminals became a structural barrier approached with time, tools, and method. The final stage was likely executed over a weekend, when the absence of normal bank activity drastically reduced the risk of immediate detection. The amount stolen, about 164.7 million reais, roughly $70 million at the time, required yet another layer of organization: transportation. It was not enough to enter the vault. A massive volume of cash had to be removed quickly, with coordination and silence. The scale of the theft turned the case into one of the largest bank robberies in the world. The use of common banknotes without simple traceability made recovery even more difficult. Over the course of the investigation, more than 30 people were arrested in different phases of the case, but only part of the money was ever recovered. Estimates suggest between 20 and 30 million reais, roughly $8 to $13 million at the time. The rest disappeared through internal divisions, laundering schemes, and routes that were never fully reconstructed. At least a dozen individuals directly or indirectly connected to the robbery were killed in the years that followed, while others simply vanished. To this day, the case remains surrounded by a central question: who truly orchestrated the operation? The most accepted theories point to an organized structure with distinct roles in planning, financing, and execution, suggesting that the men who dug the tunnel were only part of something larger, and that the true masterminds may never have been fully identified.